Good morning, grade 3. Welcome to the English class. How are you all doing today? We all have friends whom we love to spend time with. When we spend time together with our friends, we make memories which we can cherish for a lifetime. We help our friends when they are in trouble or when they are hurt. So today, let's learn the story of a beautiful friendship between a tree and a peahen, and about how they were there for each other when they were in trouble. So let's read the story called Friendship. This is chapter 7 from your English workbook. So all of you please take your English workbook, turn to page number 44. So let's read the story. Once upon a time, some trees lived together in a beautiful land. They were very happy. One morning, a tiny little sapling appeared on the ground. All the trees were very excited. They brought up the tiny plant by shading it from the hot sun and the pouring rains. Soon, the plant grew into a beautiful young tree. So the story is taking place in a beautiful land where there lived a lot of big trees happily. So one day, all these big trees found a tiny little sapling on the ground, and they were all so excited to see this tiny little sapling. All the big trees took great care of it. They protected the tiny little sapling from the hot sun and from the pouring rains. With all the pampering and care, the tiny little sapling grew out into a beautiful young tree. One hot afternoon, all the trees were taking a nap when they heard a loud thud. So it was a hot afternoon. All the trees were so tired and they were all taking a nap. And then suddenly everyone heard a loud noise. Everyone got scared. Let's see what happened next. They had never heard such a noise before. Soon the trees began to fall one by one. Do you know what was happening? The woodcutters were cutting the trees. They took all of them away. Finally, only the young tree was left alone. The little tree became lonely and sad. So what happened? One afternoon, all the trees were taking nap, and then suddenly they hear this loud noise. They have never heard such a loud noise in their life before. Everyone got so scared, and then one after the other, the trees started to fall down. They didn't know what was happening, and then they see some woodcutters there. So what was happening? The woodcutters were cutting down all the big trees there. So the big trees were cut down one by one, and finally the little tree was left. But the woodcutters did not cut down the little tree. And all the big trees were cut down and the woods were taken away by the woodcutters. The little tree was left alone and he became so sad. Let's see what happened then. One day, when the little tree was enjoying the sunset, she spotted something moving in the sky. She stared at it in fear. Slowly, it came near her. So what happened? So all the big trees were gone. The little tree was lonely and sad. And then one evening, the little tree, she was enjoying the beautiful sunset. And then suddenly, she spotted something moving in the sky. She got very scared. She doubted if it was the woodcutters again coming. But then, what happened? She saw something coming towards her slowly. The tree was relieved to see that it was a peahen. So what is a peahen? A peahen is a female peafowl. Peacock is the male bird and peahen is the female bird. You can see the picture of a peahen here. It's less colorful than the peacock and the tail is also shorter than a peacock. Now the little tree, she was relieved to see that it was a peahen which was coming towards her and not the woodcutters. The peahen perched on the little tree. "Hello," said the little tree. "You look worried." So the little tree felt that the peahen was worried about something. Her face looked worried. So the little tree says hello to this peahen and asks if everything was okay. Let's see what the peahen replied. Yes, I'm looking for my family. They are missing. So what happened? The peahen was looking for her family. Her family was missing and she was searching for them. I'm sorry to hear about that. How did they go missing? Asked the little tree. So the little tree felt empathetic towards the peahen and she asked the peahen what happened. How did her family go missing? The peahen replies, well, began the peahen, we had decided to teach our baby to fly. So every day we would fly with him for quite some time. Yesterday, my husband alone flew with the little one. I stayed back at home to finish some work. So what had happened? So the peahen says that she has a son. Every day, she and her husband, the peacock and the peahen would teach their son to fly. They would fly with him for quite some time. But the previous day, only the peacock flew with his son for the teaching lessons, while the peahen stayed back home to finish some work. What happened next? Asked the little tree, quite concerned. So then the little tree asked, what happened then? Then the peahen replies, I waited for them the whole day and night. I then decided to try and find them. But then what happened? The peacock left with his son to teach him how to fly, but they never returned. The peahen was waiting in their home the whole day and night, but they never returned. So the peahen decides to go find them and she had seen them flying towards the side of this little tree. So she says, I saw them flying towards this side and so I too came here, said the peahen. So the peahen had seen the peacock and their son flying towards this side of the land. So that's why she has come to this side to look out for them. As they were speaking, the little tree noticed more things moving in the sky. What's that? He pointed out. So the peahen was sharing her story to the little tree, and then the little tree sees something moving again in the sky. He got quite concerned. No sooner had he said that than the spots became larger and larger. The peahen shrieked, it was her family. So what was moving in the sky? So it seems that the peacock and the son returned. The peahen got so excited to see them again and she shrieked. Shriek means to cry out in a loud piercing voice. They have come back, she cried out in joy and flew to join them. So the peahen was so happy to see them again and she flew out to them to join them. So the little tree was watching the sight of this peahen joining her husband and their son, and he was wondering what would happen next. As he was wondering, the three birds flew down towards him. We will stay the night with you, dear tree, and go home tomorrow. So what did they tell to this little tree? They said to the little tree that they will stay back the whole night and return to their home only the next day, just to give her a company. I'm so glad you have found each other, said the tree. I'm even happier thinking that you will all spend the night with me. So the little tree shared her happiness that the peahen was able to see her family again, and also that they are going to spend the night with her. So the little tree and the peahen and her family were there for each other through some difficult time. So it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So there is a saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So children, I hope you enjoyed the story. You may please read the story once again. So that's all for today. We'll see you in the next class. Till then, bye.